to my channel and to a new vlog. I'm filming this with my phone because my camera, I need to buy another memory card for it. It's running out of space, the current one, because there's a lot of other videos that I have been filming I have not finished. So I'm also using the back camera because I do think it's a better quality than the front camera, but I don't know how I look. So we're gonna, hopefully I look decent enough to be talking to you guys. Okay, so I paused it to look at it and it looks fine. But this vlog is another danmei vlog, but it's one I'm excited to get into. I'm gonna be reading Little Mushroom. I'm actually so excited. I don't know a lot about it because, to be honest, the premise itself. Wait, let me pull out the other one. Be reading Shisi's Little Mushroom, so Judgment Day and Revelations. So the thing is, to be honest, I'm not the biggest person. I'm not too into sci-fi or dystopia or apocalyptic genres. Not that I'm not interested. I'm very interested in just the genre itself. I just haven't found a story that keeps me invested and continuing to wanting to read the story. But I've heard a lot. Where am I going with this? I have no script. I heard a lot about this one, and recently, well, not super recently, but pretty recent, the Chinese manhwa came out, and I've been seeing the art and the chibi art, and it's so freaking cute. It triggers my cute aggression. And I heard a lot of good stuff about Little Mushroom, and I did have my eye on the book for a while, so I decided to read it. Unfortunately, at the time I actually decided to read it, the first volume physical copy was sold out because it just ran out of stock. And currently, when I went to the publisher's website, it was back order. So for now, I decided to get the second volume because I was like, oh my gosh, what if this runs out too? What am I gonna do? So I got it, and then I loved the construction of it. I don't know how this focusing works, but the paper is so nice and thick, and that cream paper that I love, that I was like, okay, instead of I don't even know if this is available, but instead of like reading it digitally, let me just get the physical book. And it finally got into stock like this month actually. And it arrived, thankfully. I kept watching how the real life stock counting kept going down, and I was like, crap, I gotta get it. It's not as good as the second volume, I'm assuming, because this isn't really like the first print anymore. It's still good, it's just not as good as I would have liked. But I finally got it, and I am excited to read it. So yeah, this one I'm not gonna annotate because I feel like I do have the desire to annotate, but I feel like me wanting to annotate but also not having the time to annotate is part of the reason why I am still struggling with this slump of mine. I just need to sit and read a book. I shouldn't think about annotating or having a pen alongside me and stuff like that, because I think that just makes it too complicated in my mind. So I'm gonna start reading Little Mushroom's Judgment Day. Not today. There's maybe a little bit today, but not enough that I'll film it. If anything, the next clip will probably be me talking about the bit that I read. But yeah, time to find a bookmark and time to get started. Also, Genshin Impact's 4.4 update is happening today. I'm so excited. I've seen mainly one way to pronounce his name, which was Gaming. Did I watch the live stream about his part yet? I think I could only watch the beginning, but I want him so bad. I am hoping he's part of the free selection that happens at every Lantern Rite, because I want him. But yeah, So I'm gonna get started on this one once I find out my bookmark and get into this really well quality, well crafted, constructed book. I am excited. So I didn't read that much. I'm only 101 pages, but I'm already on the 6th chapter, and I will say that I'm a bit surprised at how the relationship seems to be developing between, my friend told me it's pronounced Anje, between Anje and Lufeng. I'm pretty sure it's Lufeng, but I'll probably ask her for that too. But because the way Lufeng is, you know what? I'll find it out. You know what? There's a QR code. Let me pull that up. There's a pronunciation guide. Boop. Okay. Anja. Lufeng. Okay. So the relationship between Anja and Lufeng is a bit more insta-lovey feeling on Lufeng's side than I had expected, especially with the way they keep talking about his character as if he's like super cold and apathetic and whatnot. So it's kind of making me wonder why he seems to be acting so soft and positively towards Anja. Did I already mess up the pronunciation? Anyways, so I'm like, I really don't know what's going on, but I am having fun. The world building is a little hard for me just because of the way the world is like set up with the dystopian city, but I am having fun, and I will say this is the most I've been able to read a book in one go, or like in a day, for like this is the most I've been able to read a book recently, so I'm quite happy with the progress I'm making. And yeah, I'm gonna keep reading and then talk to you again. Okay, so it is 11 p.m. January 31st. I got to page so yeah, so I'm on page 177, chapter 11 of a 400-page volume, and it's interesting and fun, but at the same time I still don't really know what the main plot or conflict of this volume is, or the story itself. Like, the biggest goal of our main character Anja, I'm gonna have to listen to it again, is to find his spore, because a mushroom's one purpose in life is to protect and take care of its spore. So that's why he's doing all of this. But I'm not really sure what's going on in this volume. I kind of maybe have an idea after seeing that it's called Judgment Day and having read about what Judgment Day was in the past and what's currently happening now, but I'm not sure where the story is going to go with it. It's fun. It's quite the gross imagery, which I do think is pretty well done. It is gross though, like, I'm not gonna lie, I get grossed out myself, but it is fun. I love Anja. He's very cute. Yeah, I'm very curious to see the whole, like, I want like a Lufeng POV chapter just to have it clarified why he's acting like this, because it seems like it's very out of character. So I'm like, what do you know? What are you hiding behind these actions? But yeah, it's fast. I'm surprised I read so much in a day. But yeah, I'm having fun. I'm excited to keep reading, and I have the complete set, so I won't be too stressed out by a cliffhanger. Yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep. I might read some more, we'll see. But I'm gonna get ready to sleep, and then tomorrow we'll see. I might finish it tomorrow, but we'll see. I am a little stressed out and thinking about something else too, because it hasn't updated. But yeah. Anyways, this is all I will say for today on volume 1, and I will see you and talk to you guys tomorrow. Okay, so I read some more. I got to page 227, chapter 14, book 2, and wow. I don't know if it's because of the time, like nighttime, but it's a heavy ending of this chapter that I just read. Would I call it dark? I'm not so sure, but definitely despairing and not nihilistic, but definitely is an existentialist. I don't know, it's just, I think despair is the best word for it, but it's quite the heavy book. It just really took a nosedive, and it got really heavy, which I was not expecting, to be honest. So I'm gonna stop reading here for tonight, because I don't think my mind can handle anymore. But I'm gonna stop reading. I'm definitely less than halfway done, more than halfway done. I have less than half left. So I think I will actually be able to finish at least volume 1 tomorrow. And we'll see how the story continues, because wow, it's getting quite heavy. I don't know if it's because when I did read apocalyptic genres or settings, it was either I dropped it, or B, because it would be in like quick transmigration novels, the arc, it would always be an arc but never a really long arc. So I think maybe because of that, we never really like actually got into the workings of a society in this sort of setting. So like reading what's happening now is like, it's intense, it's heavy, it's despairing, but I'm gonna keep reading, see what's going to happen and how it's gonna happen. This is a lot of science right now. I need silence Did I say science or silence? This is a lot of science. I need silence. Okay, following that. Give me. One thing that I'm kind of worried about is that I love the characters, right? But I'm wondering if the romance is gonna be super angsty because Anja, Anja, Anja. Oh crap! I don't have my phone right now. But Anja is a mushroom, and he's very adamant on the fact that he is a mushroom. It's cute, but also we see that because he is a mushroom first and foremost. So because he's like a mushroom first and foremost, we see moments where he's still trying to, he's like experiencing things he doesn't understand because their experiences, what's the word? Exclusive to humans, like in this story at the very least. So he's not very aware of what emotions are just yet. So it's kind of like, oh my gosh, he's a mushroom who is somewhat apathetic, or at the very least, he has emotions. He just doesn't know what they are exactly and what to do with it. With a human love interest, and I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen? But yeah, I will say it would have been nice if there was a map of how the society in the novel is structured, because if it's sounding like somewhat similar to other apocalyptic story arcs from like quick transmigration stories. Oh shit, the blink is slipping off. So basically the way this one is set up, I'm thinking of kind of an Attack on Titan style, you know, like that huge circle, because it seems like the main city is like in the most inner part of this community, because they have something called the outer city. So obviously I'm gonna put that on the outer part, but then they have different districts. So I think there's like the outer layer, which is closest to the monsters and therefore highest risk of infection, and then maybe like a mid part where it's like the majority of people, and within that mid part there's like different districts. I don't know how many districts. I want to say max 6 to 8 maybe. But and then further inside, where it's safest, is the magnetic field that they're protecting, plus the center of like their research and government and whatever. But I'm not sure if it's right. And that's like one base. Oh yeah, it's a base. And then other bases are like similarly constructed in different regions of the what's left of the world that they can live in. Because for quick transmigration arcs of apocalypse, they have cities. I don't know if I ever really thought to think about it, but I think the way I thought about it would be like each city was basically a base, and within each city base there would be, again, different levels of security and safety depending on either your position or how much money you had or how much you could like give to the community. But yeah, so it would be nice to kind of have a bit of a map, so just have like a better understanding of what exactly, how they're like moving around. But yeah, just a thought. Okay, so I got to chapter 24, and I'm about, after eating lunch, I'm going to film myself reading the last, how many pages is this? Oh, last 14, am I doing math right? 14 page, no, the last 64 pages of volume 1, and I just wanted to talk about the last line of chapter 23 because so the last line is, a person's wavering starts from the first time their heart softens. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the way that a mushroom is the one that softens this human's heart. I feel like I had a better way of phrasing it when I first thought about it, but you know, it's gone. But I was like, oh my gosh, like the dynamic and the relationship between the two is so cute, especially on just thoughts and like what he thinks of the colonel is very, very cute. But that last line was like, ugh, because it's this little mushroom that softens this cold human's heart, who's also who also like had to sacrifice a lot to get to where he was, also for the sake of humanity and just the things he has to go through. I'm almost done with volume 1, and I think I will start volume 2 today, because if I don't, bet that this vlog, the next update you will see, will be like near the end of this year, because I have a problem with finishing series, because I don't want it to end, so I just never finish it. But that is why Six of Crows I have not fully read, because the ending of Six of Crows stressed me out so much. I have yet to actually read Crooked Kingdom. So I've been spoiled on one thing about a character, but other than that, I don't really know what happens. I read Six of Crows 2019, I want to say. It is currently 2024. Crooked Kingdom has still not been read. So, to avoid that, I think I will start volume 2 after I finish volume 1. Maybe I'll give myself a few minutes to really think about volume 1, maybe write down a review or something, but other than that, it is pretty much... Wait, where was I going with this? Other than that, I will probably start volume 2 today. I do have a reading journal that I did want to do this year. Here's super cute. The cat sticker was given by a friend for my birthday. I like how it turned out, but the thing is, I wanted to do like some spreads, so I wanted to do like, I saw somebody put their goals here, I wanted to put that and stuff like that, but as you can see, very empty. So I don't know how many pages I want to put in the beginning of the journal and how I want to do the rest of the journal. Like, do I want to do reviews? Do I want to do like monthly stuff? So yeah, but I do feel like it'll probably be best for me to handwrite my thoughts and reviews of a book before I type it out or say it out verbally. So I'm trying to think if I want to just go ahead, like estimate a number of pages I think I will use, and then just get to it, or stuff like that. So I think while I eat, I'm gonna look at TikToks of people who have done their reading journals, maybe some YouTube videos, double speed them, but yeah. So I'm gonna do that. So I think I'll spend some time writing and thinking about it once I'm done, and then getting started on the second volume. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go eat now. I have 10 pages love till I'm done with this volume. It is 3:15, 3:14 p.m. No, yes, that's right. I'm sleepy. I will say one question I had since the beginning of the novel is, so this isn't a spoiler because the story starts out this way, but the body that our Anja takes form of, like copies, and essentially takes the identity of, is somebody who went to the abyss. But that person was never a mercenary, and they were always studying to join some sort of research institute or something like that. And they were essentially pressured or heavily pressed by a friend. I don't know how Anze felt about him, but this guy called Josh, who seems to be who who leaves him behind after Anze got hit. But later we find out that the guy Josh wasn't even really a high level mercenary. So it makes me wonder why those two people specifically were sent to the abyss, which is like the most dangerous. Did I just say dangerous? Which is the most dangerous region that has since formed after the world basically fell apart. Because that's where Anja originates from. So I'm just curious as to how those two ended up there, when really there's like only one or two teams who are qualified to go there. Very curious about that. Very curious about that. Please don't get caught. Please don't get caught. Okay, we see how you are in denial. Oh my gosh. Okay. Done. I'm gonna give myself some time to think about it, to write down my thoughts in my journal, and then hopefully the next time will be my final thoughts, reading from my journal, because like I said, short-term memory is a B word to deal with. And then get started on the second volume. I'm wondering if I should do one vlog per volume, because I seem to have a lot more footage than I expected for just the one book. So I think I'll do like a part 1, part 2, volume 1, volume 2 of it. But okay, at first I was gonna, the last things I'll tell you for now is I was gonna rate this like a 4.25. Is that how people do the in between 4 and 4.5? But the ending parts, I'm gonna give it a 4.5, just because I think it was so well written and just so well plotted. The biggest issue I did have was trying to figure out what's gonna happen, like what is this story trying to tell us, trying to lead us to. I still have that, but I'm just enjoying the direction it took and how it's like dealing with it. Because I will say this novel is a bit more despairing than I had expected, because to be fair, this is like my first grand scale, like fully focused on apocalypse and sci-fi stuff. Like I said, the only ones I've had were short arcs in quick transmigration novels, and those were normally zombies. Like it was always just a zombie virus. This one delves into a different direction, but also so much deeper the infection and whatnot, and it was very, very interesting. So I am excited to see what will happen in the last volume. I did hear it was a sad ending, including the chapter, like the extra chapters. I'm really scared. But let's get into it. I'm gonna stop this part now, think about it, write in my journal, and then finish this vlog. Okay, so I just finished writing it in my journal. I had already, unfortunately, forgot a lot of what I would have felt would have been really nice, eloquent, deep thoughts of this book. So, so I just wrote it. But to try to non-spoiler sum up my final thoughts on Little Mushroom, I loved it. 4.5 out of 5. I know for a good amount of the vlog and the book, my biggest complaint was feeling a lack of purpose and meaning of the direction and development of the story. So what I want to say when I say that is, yes, the summary and plot of the novel itself is already pretty vague because it just says a tale of humans and xenogenics unfolds. I would have kind of thought I would have picked up a bit more. Like, so far I felt like it was lacking. Like, yes, the main thing is Anja wanting to find his spore, but like between him wanting to get his spore and him seeing if we do get his spore at the end of this volume, a lot of things happened that I just felt like I wasn't feeling meaning. Like, I couldn't feel why that was important, I guess. I might have been maybe oddly too nitpicky about it, but I was just feeling that as I read the story. Again, maybe I was just oddly picky, or maybe it's because it's my first apocalyptic genre novel. But yeah, so that was what I felt for majority, but I really liked the exploration of humanity in this novel. One, through the fact that our point of view is through Anja, who is a mushroom and therefore not human, but he is experiencing human emotions and stuff, and like experiencing human life through the DNA and life of Anze. So I thought that was really interesting, but because it's apocalyptic and so human life is short, it's unpredictable. Like, you might be human today, but you might not be tomorrow, or or the same for your loved ones or people you know. So I just thought it was despairing, pretty despairing, dark, sad, but also very interesting way to just talk or explore, examine life of humanity itself, and also life. So I really liked that. I also really liked the way the world developed. So I think I just said this, but a lot of my apocalyptic arcs for quick transmigration stories were always zombies, and they were also fairly quickly dealt with. But here we get like really into the science, not like science enough that the author would have to be a science genius, but we definitely get more into the science and the evolution of infection and contamination, to the point where at one point the way that people are getting infected is just, this is a bit of a spoiler, but it's just like through proximity. It's not even airborne, it's not transmitted, well, I guess airborne is best. It's not like through blood or airborne. It's literally just, you're near xenogenics, you're gonna get infected. Like, it's just evolved to that insane point. So the last part of the book really gets heavy and gets really emotional and despairing about how it's starting to kind of collapse, because just the creatures and the way they infect humans has just evolved to a point that is not within logical boundaries anymore. So it made me sad, and it did make me feel desolate in a sense, like a very mild form of desolation. But I did really like the way the story eventually like developed near the end of the volume. And the last chapter did make me stressed out, but as of now it worked out fine. I am looking forward to see how that'll continue in the sequel. But other than that, yeah, I don't think there's anything. I will say Anja is super cute. He is my cutie patootie, and his thoughts that he has towards Lu Feng are so funny. I love Anja so much. I'm very curious to see how their relationship will develop, especially since he is a mushroom who is just learning human emotions, and he still does not know how to identify it, with a human who is known to be apathetic, but we learn is also very complex and is also dealing with a lot of like internal struggles. So both are very interesting characters, and I'm very interested to see how their relationship as their characters will work out. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I will say this might be maybe because it's a bit more focused on characters rather than plot. Like, the world building is really good. I'm not gonna say that's not the case, because like I said, I really liked the way the world building in terms of the apocalypse or dystopian society is working here. But it's also more character driven than plot driven, because like I said, I felt some sort of lacking from the way the plot was developing, and I think now that I'm saying everything out loud is because it's a bit more character-centric story within a pretty strong world, like a pretty strong world built story. So there is that, but if you want to try the apocalypse genre, I would say give this one a try. It's actually really good. It gives you a lot to think about, and it just stays in your mind. I don't know how else to say it, but I really enjoyed it. I think I'm gonna not start the second volume today because, like I said, I decided to split this vlog into 2 parts because I think I talked a lot about just the one volume. So I'm gonna give myself a break. I might start like a chapter or 2 because, like I also said, if I don't start it now, bet that the second part, the part 2 of this vlog is gonna come out like near the end of the year. So I might start a chapter or 2, but for now I'm not gonna get too into it because I think I would like to edit and then upload this vlog before I actually get started on filming for the part 2 vlog. And yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I think I'll look further into the manhwa because the chibis that I've seen are so freaking cute. I need to read it. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I recommend it. It's not a high impact novel for me, but it is gonna be a long lasting one. That's what I'm feeling from this novel. And yeah, once I hype myself up to start the second volume, because I heard it's sad and people cry. I don't know if it's a happy ending or a sad ending. I do know the story is sad. So once I hype myself up to be emotionally damaged, I will get started on the second volume. Hopefully I get editing on this vlog soon and then getting to the second one. Quite nervous. Quite nervous. But yeah. So that was it for this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys give Little Mushroom a chance. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Looking forward to the second volume. Yeah, so this was it for this vlog. I hope you look forward to the part 2 where I read the second and last volume of the story, and I hope you enjoyed this vlog as well. That is it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!